cases the killings in relation to the drug wars. And again, they
Hindi,
refused.
merong pag-alinlangan to entertain you, to share or to address your need for information. Ang masakit nung kung may nasa site silang basis not to cooperate with you, yan ba ang nangyayari sa ground?
Ang ginagawa pong basis pa rin is yung EO2 under the list of exceptions. Ang FEO2 po ay EO2 was issued 2016. It pertains to freedom of information na pinasa ng Office of the President before.
Can I request for parang some sort of a memorandum
Yes,
kung ano
yeah.
yung na-encounter yung difficulties para organize yung data?
Apo.
Yes, Senator Risa.
Salamat kaayo, Mr. Chair. And even while we're waiting for that memo, nakikita ko po sa gallery ang ating PLLO. Baka pwede na pong, if the Chair allows, pwede na pong i-explore ng PLLO, ma-rescind o kung yung, ano yung tamang term, ma-rescind ng OP, ang Executive Order 2, and kung pwedeng ma-inform ang komite ng CHR, ano naman yung sinasite na issuances ng PNP National Headquarters sa Krame na basis for any of the police stations refusing to cooperate para matanggal na rin ang agam-agam ng lahat, klaro sa lahat na at the level of PNP National Headquarters, at the level of OP, the way is clear, and in fact, better kung pwedeng i-authorize ng OP or i-authorize ng PNP National Headquarters yung full untrammeled cooperation sa CHR, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Basta kami, willing to act kami, but we want yung real life ground level ninyo, experience ng CHR. Okay. So, okay,
Yes,
next in line to ask questions. And
Mr. Chair,
Mr. President, yes.
kunti lang, total.
Go ahead.
Paminsan-minsan lang to. Pardon my strep set to may sore throat ako. So I do not mean to be disrespectful.
Hey, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Makati na yung strep cell to may. Pakinggan lang ho ninyo ako. Total, tinawag lang naman ninyo ako. Pakinggan ninyo yung kunting kwento ko. The human side. The human side sa misery ng drugs. Alam mo, mayor ako. Halos lahat ng problema ng alam mo, ikaw, alam mo rin, Mr. Chairman, alam mo yan. Yung may isang nanay pupunta ng Middle East. Yung iba, maswerte. Yung iba naman, malas. But usually, they are treated as slaves. Alam mo yung mga countries na yan, ang pagtingin kasi nila sa mga nagsilbi sa kanila, they are not even treated as servants. Almost ang tratamento nila as slaves. Itong nanay na ito, nagtrabaho ng 4 na taon sa labas. She keeps on remitting money to the family, hoping that yung pera niya, pinapadala niya doon sa asawa niya, maibigay doon sa mga anak para sa pag-aral ng mga bata, at for the upkeep. Ang isang experience ko, ang nanay na talagang humiga dyan sa harap o sa sahig sa City Hall in total desperation related to me kung ano nangyari. Pero marami na akong naririnig na ganito at alam mo ko sa inyo, alam ko ganun rin. Ito minsan sila inaabuso. They are treated as slaves. And yet, para lang mabuhay, makapagdala ng pera sa pamilya nila dito sa Pilipinas, para lang mabuhay at makapag-aral ang mga anak nila, they would endure itong mga klaseng abuso, pati na siguro rape. They would just keep silent. Sige sila padala ng pera sa para mga anak nila. After 4 years, itong sabi ko, yung umiyak doon sa City Hall na humiga sa sahig. After 4 years, trabaho, pag-uwi niya, nakita niya ang anak niya. Isang adik na. Hindi natapos ang eskwela, yung padala ng pera niya, yung sakripisyo niya, baliwala. Doon sa droga napunta. Yung pera na pinagpawisan niya, na inabuso siya, at treated as slaves doon sa labas ng bayan natin, magpadala lang para lang dito. Pagdating dito, ang mga bata exposed sa drugs. Hindi yan makapagtapos. Makita niya pagdating dito, walang nakatapos, puro drug addict. Yun, kaya, yung outburst ko minsan, marinig ninyo dito or outside, yun yung rage ko sa droga. Isang nanay, trabaho sa labas, sakripisyo, 3 taon, 4 na taon, padala ng pera. Pagdating dito, pag-uwi, only to find out na yung mga anak niya, mga drug addict, sa droga, walang nakatapos at napurnada ang pawis niya. Yung
Mr. Chair.
umiga siya dyan sa sahig, dyan sa City Hall, nag-iyak. Humiga siya sa sahig, nag-iyak siya. Sabi niya, Mayor, paano ito? Sabi niya, gusto niya na ako ang magbigay ng relief ng grievance niya. May reklamo siya sa akin mismo dito sa mayor. Hindi siya nagpunta ng pulis sa akin.
Mr.
Ganun
Chair,
sa probinsya diretso yan sa mayor. Mayor, ganito ang nangyari. So, ganun ang mga istorya na kaya yan kung bakit ako talaga mainit at nakikinig ang Pilipinas ngayon. Kayong madurubista. Mainit.
Okay, you're still watching the live hearing at the Senate today. Started this morning with former President Rodrigo Duterte testifying.
And it's still ongoing.
So,
The former president is still still has the floor. So, do we toss it back to him?
yes, I think the Storicon will be giving away, will be giving away
Jackets.
to this live event at the Senate. Former President Rodrigo Duterte testifying on the drug war.
O baka hindi. But I am not prepared to admit anything. Kung ano yung nachichismis, alam mo, hindi machismis yan kung walang nangyari. May nangyari
Mr.
yan,
Chair, please.
na napapag-usapan yan. Kung ano man ang lumabas niyang istorya sa labas ng Davao, kung ano ang nangyari, anong ginawa ko, ipaubaya mo na lang sa ano. Hindi mo naman rin ako makulong kasi you have to produce witnesses and you have to go to trial. At hindi naman ako pwedeng gano'n na lang magpakulong. Pero basta sabi ko, pag nagkapanahon akong uli na magtakbo ako ng mayor, maminos-minos talaga lang, I will do the same thing again and again and again, basta nandyan yung droga.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chair, I believe we've given the proper leeway and respect to the former president. Hindi po ito midnight COVID briefing, and I hope we can stay on track. Hindi po natin pinag-uusapan kung mali ang droga. Pinag-uusapan po natin kung yung polisiya, naging polisiya nyo.
Mr.
tungkol
Chair,
doon.
if I may.
Salamat
Sige,
tayo, Mr. Chair.
it's actually the turn of Senator Bato, and let's give him 10 minutes of uninterrupted time to ask questions. Sige,
Okay, sandali mo naman.
Before my time starts, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman.
May I just be clear on this? Yung ano yung lumalabas sa karakter ko, yung policy ko, yun na yung experience ko, kaya lumalabas yung sa utak ko, pati bunganga ko. Yun na yun yung galit ko. Galit talaga ako sa droga, sasabihin ko sa inyo. Mainit ako.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Lahat tayo, we are all the product of our own experiences. Tama. Sige, Senator Bato, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I just would like to remind our colleagues, Mr. Chair, if I may, that we invited the former president to listen to him. Sana kung magsalita siya, bigyan na naman natin ng time dahil pumunta siya dito eh. Si Senator De Lima kanina, haba-haba ng sinasabi. I never interrupted her. Kahit anong sinasabi ng mahaba. But, itong ating nag-raise pa nga ng hand yan kasi gusto niya magsalita. Sana, hintayin natin matapos. Huwag natin i-interrupt, Mr. Chair. Yun lang po. Nagpapalabas na ako ng aking observation.
Salamat sa Senator. Pero yun, nasabi ko na rin, nalabas ko na yung galit ko. It's really a rage dito sa... anak lang rin ako ng mahirap eh. Kaput. Dumating kami ng Davao na we have to hack. Puro kahoy pa yan. We have to clear the forest para makapusto kami. Kaya dumaan ako dyan sa yung boulevard na yan. You will be familiar because you're from Mindanao. Diyan kami nakatira sa nagkarinderya ang nanay ko noon nung dumating kami sa... Kaya nakita ko yung hirap ng... Lalo na sabi ko yung nanay na lumabas, nagtrabaho, padala ng pera, tapos yung pera niya nandoon sa droga.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry, but tapos na ako. Nailabas ko na.
Sige.
Salamat. Hindi na ako magano.
Ito for the information, si Colonel Grijaldo, you're a witness requested by Senator Bato. Sino pa ba? Mga PNP. Karamat, you're requested by Senator Bato. Pero klaruhin ko lang kay Dr. Liabres and Mr. Kevin Bumagat, you're requested by Senator Bongo. Okay, so relax lang po kayo dyan. Sige, go ahead, Senator Bato. You have the floor.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, just would like to ask the former president if kasama ba sa sinasabi niya na Davao Death Squad. Kasi alam ko, magaling ito si Mayor pa sa noon, magaling ito sa Saywar eh. Yung meron siyang abilidad wherein yung mga kriminal, pwede niya ma-encourage magbabarilan na magpapatayan yung mga kriminal. Kasama ba yung mga former, mga criminal mayor na, Mr. President, na may turing mo na yun na rin kinukonsider mong death squad as a for euphemism, Sinasabi mo lang, this squad, yung mga kriminal, who are killing each other.
Magtanim ko lang ng intriga.
Intriga, ang ginagawa mo, kaya sila nagbabarailan.
Diyan ako mahusay. Magtanim, kaya ako na presidente. Na presidente ako sa intriga. Magtanim ka lang ng intriga dito, intriga doon. Alam mo, utosan mo lang ito, gawin mo to, tapos magputok yan. And that would start the war. Hindi naman kailangan na, ilang kayo na dumaan, Danao, Koy, pati Archie Gambo. May inutos ba ako sa inyo na talian mo ang tao, patayin mo? Ngayon, sabihin mo sa kanila ngayon, nandito na tayo kasi yun ang ano sa akin extrajudicial killing. May inutos ba ako sa inyo ni minsan na patayin yung kriminal na nakatali dyan o nakahiga? Tell the people now, bago tayo mamatay, ikaw, Senator De La Rosa, did I ever tell you to shoot a criminal na defenseless na nahuli na ninyo?
Never in my whole life, Mr. President. I can tell you, Mr.
May
Chairman.
sinabi ba ako sa inyo na isalvage ninyo yung tao?
Never, Mr. President.
Alam mo bakit? Di ba sinabi ko sa inyo, huwag ninyong gawin yan kasi yung karma. Babalikan tayo ng babalikan. Kaya tayo umiiwas
But Mr. President, I would like to make it clear na meron akong napatay sa Davao in a legitimate encounter
Yes, alam ko.
because you instructed me to operate against these people. Kaya napatay namin yung tao na yon, mga kalaban na yon.
Ilabas na lang natin yung
Legitimate operation, Mr. President. That was a legitimate operation.
totoo. Ilabas na lang
Hostage
natin
taking,
yung
Mr.
totoo.
President. Hostage taking. Karnaper. Marami ko napatay. Kidnapper. Doon sa bangko. Na doon nag-withdraw pa ng pera sa bangko. Sabi mo sa akin, Bato, siguruhin mo yung mga kriminal na yan, dinala nila dito yung kidnap victim dito sa Davao at dito pa mag-withdraw ng pera, siguruhin mo na mahuli ninyo yan. Pag lumaban, you know what to do. That's your word. True enough. Patay yung mga kidnapper, Mr. President.
Nandoon ako.
Yeah, because ayaw mong may mga kriminal na papasok sa ating syudad.
Bigo mo po, kidnapin mo yung babae, dalhin mo sa Cotabato,
Patayin.
tapos ibalik mo sa Davao, kakain ka pa doon sa bahay ng papalutuin mo pa yung in-check doon sa... Tapos pagbaba nila, nandun ako na yan sila. Sabi ko, patayin ninyo yan.
And Mr. President, I would like to remind Mr. Chairman that if you are going to review yung mga media interview ko sa Davao, there were many times na sinabi ko sa media ng Davao, pag mayroong patay at nagresponde ako doon, sabi nila pinatay daw ng Davao Death Squad. Openly sinasabi ko, kayo mga Death Squad dyan, kung sino-sino yung nagpa-Death Squad dyan, magaling lang kayo pumatay ng walang kalaban-laban. Andito ako. Ako si Colonel Bato. Kung gusto ninyo ng barilan, dito kayo sa akin. At lalaban ako sa inyo. Kung sino yan nagpa-Death Squad na yan. Kaya mali po na sabihin na kami pong mga dating sa Davao na Chief of Police ay membro ng Death Squad. Siguro, Senator Risa was not listening to the answer of General Danao.
Mr.
Nung
Chair, I
sinabi
was
niya
listening. It was the former president who said na ang mga PNP ang death squad.
I declare a suspension.
Yeah. Hindi.
Okay, the Senate has suspended the hearing where former President Rodrigo Duterte is testifying on the drug war.
Interesting back and forth between the former president and the former chief PNP, now a senator. Minsan yung resource person nagtatanong doon sa senador.
So this is the awkward situation which we mentioned last week, medyo it might be awkward for Senator Bato to be questioning the former president when he was in fact a former PNP chief and a former chief of police of Mayor Duterte and then later President Duterte.
And you could also see the way the former president conducts himself. Parang talk to the people minsan eh. He talks freewillingly.
A stream of consciousness ang tawag dyan.
Consciousness. At
Kung ano pumasok sa
umabot
isip.
sa punto na nakiusap ng ibang senador, please lang, huwag masyadong nagmumura.
Something we were familiar with for 6 years.
For 6 years.
For 6 years. So, but it might be note pointing out, Bok, na medyo maaga tong hearing na ito, no? And surprisingly, of course, for those who were able to, who know how it was in those 6 years, surprisingly, maaga pumunta si PRRD sa Senado. I think the hearing is
Yeah.
resumed.
Do we go back?
Let's go back.
Extend ang term ni Pangulong Duterte dahil sa ganda na nangyari sa ating war on drugs. 1.6 million ang nag-surrender in the first 6 months. The crime volume was reduced to 49% during the first 6 months. At ang nahuli, there were around 300,000 na nakakulong sa mga kulungan all over the Philippines. Kaya nagka-problema tayo kung paano natin i-deal yung overcrowding ng ating mga kulungan. Ito, buhay ito ha. Ito mga nakakulong, buhay yan. Dahil hindi nanlaban, hindi lumaban, kaya buhay sila. Around 30,000 nakakulong sa lahat ng mga estasyon.
Alam ng Pilipinas yan, Senator.
Yes, sir.
Nasa TV yun eh. Nag-surrender lahat by the thousands. Nakita naman ng buong Pilipinas yan.
Kaya nga,
ganun karami ang tama ng ating bayan. Tapos kung pagkaganong ka lang, do not do that because that is not good. Do not commit. Kung ganun ang ugali mo, huwag ka nang mag-mayor, huwag ka nang ma-presidente, gago ka. Kung di mo alam kung anong gawin mo.
thank you, Mr. President.
Presidente ako, gano'n, no? Sabi ko, huminto kayo.
So ngayon, Mr. President,
Kasi dito sa kultura natin, alam mo, the Philippines remain feudal until now. Kaya ang mga tao dito, pag may isang corrupt na mayor, lahat ng mga tauhan niya yan, mga gambling, yung mga collection dyan, yung mga waiting, nandiyan sa gagong yan. Pag corrupt ang mayor, sira talaga. Kaya pag hindi, sa panahon ko, tinawag ko talaga, sabi ko, huwag sa panahon ko. Alam ko hindi mo maiwan yan eh. Kasi mukha mo po, yung mukha mo, ilagay mo yung mukha mo dyan sa pera mo, palit mo kay Rizal. Pero wag sa panahon ko, tayo.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Alam nila, ayan oh, puro chief of police ko yan. Alam nila yan.
Ngayon, Mr. President,
Mabuti.
na nag-imbestiga.
Hindi mabuti yan, Senator, Mr. Chairman, give us enough time so that malaman na rin ng Pilipinas na kung ano talaga ang problema ng Pilipinas. Sisirain talaga ang bayan natin, sigurado. Kawawa ang mga bata. Yan ang problema ko. May nung mayor ako, sabi ko, wag na wag kasi kawawa yung mga bata.
Now, Mr. President, ngayon na ikaw ay iniimbestigahan sa war on drugs, where are they now? Yung mga nagsusuporta sa iyo noon sa war on drugs, hindi natin narinig ngayon. Iniwan ka sa ere. Ano po yung naramdaman mo?
Takot. Alam ko kasi yung tao, yung for the good time lang yan sila. Yung mga crisis kang ganito, wala ka namang kaibigan. Walang sumusuporta. Well, of course, nandito si kaibigan ko, nandito si Mr. Biliga, nandito si Sal. Nandiyan sa likod ko. Ilan lang yan. Pero pagka ngayon ang Davao, ngayon, taga-Davao ka man. Taga-Davao kayo lahat. Kayo mga general, dumaan doon. O ano, good time na. Peaceful na. Walang gulo. Walang pickpocket. Pero wala, hanggang dyan lang. Kalimutan na ng tao yan because sa bagay naman trabaho mo yan eh. Tama naman sabihin ng tao na, bakit kami may utang na loob sa iyo? Bayad ka. Trabaho mo yan. Tama yan. In theory, tama yan. Tama sila. Kayong mga pulis. Ikaw. Pati ako. Pero, yung dapat lang malaman na yung pagiging mayor ko, pagiging talagang presidente, dinibdib ko yan. Wala akong agenda. Wala akong dinagdag na baski isang poste sa bahay ko. Wala akong bagong kotse. Hindi ako nakatikim ng Mercedes-Benz. Dinibdib ko talaga ang trabaho ko para sa bayan ko. Ayaw ko maging hero. Kasi pero kayong lahat ng mga chief of police dumaan sa Davao.
And I would like to take this opportunity with the permission of the chairman that I would like to thank you, Mr. President, for your war on drugs. If there was no war on drugs, there is no Senator Bato. Maraming salamat po doon sa opportunity na binigyan mo sa akin na maging chief PNP at ako'y naging senador ngayon dahil doon sa war on drugs. Maraming salamat.
Kung nakikinig yung PNP, pati yung patuloy ninyo yan at magtrabaho kayo ng husto kasi ang droga talagang talamak. Kawawa ang Pilipino anong tawag dyan sa Tagalog, patapol-tapol, patamad-tamaran kayo dyan. Trabaho kayo ng husto, alam ninyo na ang droga talamak. Kaya kayong mga presinto, yung area of jurisdiction mo, pag mandyan pa yung droga, umalis ka. Kung chief of police ka ng syudad, pag may droga at hindi mo kayang pumatay, takot kang mamatay, umalis ka dyan sa trabaho mo. Sorry for the...
Thank you, Mr. President. I think, Mr. Chairman, medyo mahaba na yung time ng ating...
Yes, alam ko. Alam
gusto na siyang magpahinga.
Thank you. If the president can still stay a little longer, okay lang, sir? For a couple more minutes?
I am at your disposal,
Sige po.
sir.
Okay, sige.
Ako magsabi ninyo hanggang bukas tayo dito.
Okay lang.
Wala akong magawa.
Actually, dapat Senator Bato, nag-apologize tayo kay President for starting our hearing in the morning. Doon siya nahihirapan actually siguro.
In the same manner that I would like to express my apologies, especially to Senator Ontiveros, kasi sensitive sa mga ganitong, yung karakter ko ho, gano'n talaga. Baski saan mo ako ilagay, gano'n ka. Even in front of anybody. Gano'n talaga ako. Bastos ako. Walang hiya ako kasi galing ako sa baba.
Salamat
Class
kaayo,
3
Mr.
ako.
Chair. Hindi ako sensitive. Ayaw ko lang talaga ng bastos. Ayaw ko ng walang hiya. Lalo na pag pinag-uusapan natin
Kaya
ng
mo.
seryosong bagay ng war on drugs saka
Kaya
extrajudicial killings.
ako bastos ma'am,
Salamat kaayo,
wala ang
Mr.
hiya
Chair.
talaga ako. Yan ang totoo. Siguro, hindi ako dadating itong pagka-presidente kung hindi ako bastos at hindi ako walang hiya.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I am now, hindi sa lahat ma'am, baka sabihin mo, magwalang hiya ako sa inyo, hindi yan. May kunting edukasyon rin ako. Decency. Yung demeanor ko, yung pinapakita ko sa inyo, yung galit ko, yung rage ko, sa kriminal yan. Dahil nga, naging prosecutor ako, matagal masyado.
Ako muna.
Professor ako ng
Professor ng...
Police Academy.
Thank you, Mr. President. Okay, ako mag-interrupt kay Senator Bato kasi andito naman si Aaron Aquino, General of PIDEA. Thank you, sir. Kahit retired na kayo, ikaw nag-represent sa PIDEA. Pero can I ask you about PIDEA? Konting ano lang kasi metrics yung pinag-usapan namin dito eh. PIDEA is a 22-year-old organization.
Mr. Chair.
Ang bigay sa inyo...
Does that mean that I am finished already?
Hindi pa, hindi.
Okay, thank
Ano
you,
lang,
thank you.
interjection. Kayo, binigay nga sa iyo yung ang basa namin sa law, sa anti-drugs, PIDEA, dapat yan ano eh. Do you have, naging head kayo eh. For how long were you head of PIDEA? Taon din ba? Taon? Years din?
It's 2 years and
2 years. Okay, so you're familiar with PIDEA.
yes, sir.
Are you in possession or are you the repository of data about drugs? So kunyari gusto natin sukatin ang success ng Duterte administration's war on drugs. Hawak ng PIDEA ang any metrics na before June 30, 2016 at tapos June 30, 2022. Meron kayong klaseng ganun data? Kung
Is it
sakaling
matrix, Mr. Chair?
Huh?
Matrix? Are you asking?
metrics data.
How much drug we have?
Marami sigurong ways to measure the drug problem. Number of users, number of suspected pushers, at what levels, big time, manufacturing, etc. Number of arrests, do we have all of this data with the PIDEA? Yan ang tanong ko.
Yes, sir. And I think sa Dangerous Drugs Board din, sir, may data.
DDB. kasi General Kuy nga pala naman sa DDB. So ganon. Just hindi ko na siguro kayo ipipress sa figures but not you, General Aquino, but the current PIDEA. Are you still with the DDB? Wala na rin, sir. And the current DDB, kunang ko na lang, ang sinasabi nyo sa akin, they should be in possession of the data. That's what you're telling me.
Yes,
So,
Mr. Chair.
Okay, we will require them to submit. Kasi ang katanungan, marami rin nagtatanong is, ano ba yun? How successful was it? Pero we have to use some objective metric. Hindi pwedeng, siyempre, kung subjective, puro praises o puro criticism naman. So, mag-isip kami ng metric na how to measure a success or failure in the war against drugs. Okay.
Sir,
Mr. President, sige.
Senator, may I be allowed additional moments? Alam mo itong war of the... Itong PIDEA, hindi man sabihin inutil. Pero kung yung PIDEA, ang asahan mo to fight drugs, patay ang Pilipinas. Take it from me, galing ako sa taas presidency. Galing ako mayor, congressman. Hindi kaya ng PIDEA. Hindi nga niya alam sino yung mga, diyan sa palibot dito sa Batasan, sino yung mga drugista diyan sa Police talaga yan. Police. Ang sekreto niyan is mayor, pati police at barangay captains. Yun lang yun. Yun ang kailangan mo. Huwag na yan generals. Police, kapitan, police, barangay. Yan. Well, generals, malayo masyado yan. Sorry. Wala yan. Hindi, you cannot solve the problem. Nandito na lang rin tayo pag-usapan natin what's the best approach to. The best approach really is dito sa baba. Barangay captain, tapos yung mga mayors, dapat nilang pukpukin talaga. Pag ang isang mayor, pag sinabi niya na walang droga dito sa syudad ko, hindi naman ako nagyayabang. Ay, pupunta naman kayo ng Davao kung gusto ninyo. Meron kayo. Pero pag sinabi ko, dito sa Davao, walang droga, wala talagang droga. Ay, ilang police chief dyan. Ayan, si Gamboa, Danau, pati ito, dumaan si Koy. Pag sinabi ko sa kanila, walang droga, kayo ang... Sabi ko, ipapakaw ko talaga sila sa cross. Nagpagawa ako ng cross dyan nilagay ko sa barak sa likod. Ipapako ko yung police director dyan na pagka may... Trabaho ninyo yan eh.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Senator Bato, you have the floor again. Sige.
One interjection
Pwede bang
lang, if I may,
papahingahin
Mr.
mo
Chair.
natin si President Duterte and I will proceed to
Senator Bato.
Colonel Hector Grijaldo.
With your permission, pero kung ayaw mo, okay lang.
Ano yun, yung-
Senator Risa wants to interject. Okay lang, with your permission. Pwedeng hindi.
Para kanino,
For the
For
record
the record.
only.
Okay.
With the permission of Senator Bato, go ahead.
Dagan salamat, Mr. Chair ug Senator De La Rosa. For the record lang, in fairness sa PIDEA, Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency is the lead anti-drug law enforcement agency responsible for preventing, investigating, and combating any dangerous drugs, controlled precursors, and essential chemicals within the Philippines. So, tigilin na po natin yung pagsisira at paninira sa mga
Hindi ba
institusyon.
paninira, ma'am?
Because we
Sinasabi
need,
ko,
para sabihin
kulang.
pero may nasabi
Hindi
rin
nila kasalanan.
may
Ang
nasabi
ideya
rin
talaga
hindi
kulang
inutil.
ng tao,
Pero-
kulang ng organization.
Pero I
Yes,
heard
yes.
the term, Mr. Chair,
You have
halos
to have
inutil.
Mr. President,
tao, pati
there
pondo ng
are-
pera.
There are ways na i-strengthen ang PIDEA na hindi natin
Hindi
sinasabing
mo dala sa
halos
istorya yan dito.
inutil.
Actually, okay.
No. Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
Sige.
Miyembro po ako ng committee ito, ng subcommittee at ng Senado. So, I am just making an interjection
Yes,
in fairness sa PIDEA na isa sa mga importanteng institusyon ng law enforcement natin, particularly in suppressing the supply of drugs. For the record lang, Mr. Chair. Dagan
ako-
salamat, Mr. Chair o Senator De
Sige,
La
what's
Rosa.
the opinion of the
Ako
President?
naging-
Is,
Mayor, congressman, naging presidente, ang sinasabi ko dito, wala akong tinatamaan. I'm just expressing, I said, my experience. Na kung ano talaga ang kulay ng droga dito sa Pilipinas. Baski dito sa batas. Baski dyan sa Ligos. Malakas ang droga dito sa batasan. Kaya kung kailangan mo talaga na, kailangan mo ng pulis, kailangan ng Pilipino, you elect a mayor na magsabi one of the sa program niya, sa agenda niya, drugs. Maghingi siya ng chief of police na who's dedicated at saka yung may character talaga. Pero kung chief of police na gusto lang ng promotion, mag-retire na kayo.
Yes, Mr.
Thank you,
Chair.
thank you, Mr. President. But I will confirm no na yung in aid of legislation part ng ating hearing, isa yun na lumalabas nga yung PIDEA, yung law creating the PIDEA, manpower, budget, etc. So
Palakasin ninyo, sir.
Yes, sir. Kaya nga isa yan. I will confirm it na yan ang isa sa mga initial kaagad na lumalabas na in aid of legislation na ideas yung PIDEA, pinasa lahat ng drug dyan, pero kaya ba? Yan. Nakuha natin ng feedback sa Presidente. So,
Kulang.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ayun, isa yun sa ano. Ipapalabas natin yan sa future hearings. Ano ba ang sitwasyon ng PIDEA? Si PIDEG, bakit na-revive si PIDEG? NARCOM kayo dati yata pagkaalam ko. If I remember it correctly, NARCOM, inalis natin by policy of law. Pero rene-revive, it's now PIDEG under PNP. Sige. I'll now recognize Senator Bato for his continue his interpellation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Alam mo, kung ang problema ng droga ay napakababa na level lang, siguro kaya ng PDEA kontrolin. But before we came into office, President Duterte at ako naging chief PNP, sobrang talamak ang droga. Everywhere, anywhere, buong Pilipinas, kalat ang droga. Kaya, what can PDEA do? They are only 2,000 plus. Ang PNP, 200,000 plus ang PNP. Kaya kinakailangang immobilize ni Pangulong Duterte yung PNP because ang PNP everywhere in the Philippines, up to the barangay level, may police doon. Kaya ginamit ang PNP para mag-wage ng war on drugs. Hindi kaya ng PDEA. Hindi sa sinisiraan ni Pangulong Duterte ang
Hindi kaya.
PDEA. Talagang hindi kaya.
Di kaya.
2,000 plus lang yung PDEA. Tapos yung PNP, 200,000 plus. So you better use the 200,000 plus at alam na alam pa ng mga pulis kasi yung iba nila mismo ay sila pa involved sa droga. Alam na alam nila yung drug personality doon sa area nila. So, yun po ang the rationale behind, Mr. President. So,
Ganito kasi,
Yes, sir.
pinatawag ninyo ako dito. Hindi ko kayo pinipilit na maniwala sa akin. Makinig kayo kasi ako galing talaga sa baba. At itong lahat na ito dumaan sa akin. Koy, lahat yan. Gamboa. Bato. Makinig kayo kasi makinabang ang bayan natin. Hindi ang yabang ko dito, ang bayan ang makinabang natin. Hindi ako nagyayabang, galit talaga ako sa droga. Kasi sinisira nila ang bayan ko. Ang mahirap dyan, ang mga anak. Yun ang sinasabi ko, lalo na yung mga nanay na nagtrabaho doon sa Middle East, na ni-rape, inaabuso ng mga putang ina nila. Tapos magpadala ng pera dito para sa pag-aral ng mga bata. Pag-uwi nila after, yung doon sa City Hall, umiyak dyan sa harap ko, nagligid-ligid, ano bang tigid-ligid sa Tagalog? Gulong-gulong dyan sa harap harap. Kasi yung pinapadala ng pera pala na, yung dalawang anak niya, babae, puro doon sa droga na punta yung... Kaya kung makita mo, ewan ko, hindi kasi kayo sa babae. Kung ikaw ang mayor, makikita mong ganon ang sakripisyo ng tao, dugo, pati pawis. Tapos ganon lang ang mangyari sa kanya. Ako ang nakikinig sa istorya dito. Ako yung mayor. Ako yung nagsasabi, I will protect the city. Ano? Pagkahipokrito ko naman. Wag na lang ako mag-mayor kung wala akong gawin. Kaya ang daw sinabi ko, stop or patayin kita. Magdiretsahan na lang ako. Total akin lang naman to. Allow me because yun ba talaga ang totoo. Ang ganam ko, huminto kayo, papatayin ko kayo. Na ninyo. Yan ang totoo. Bitawan na natin. Total, Congress or wherever. We know the sanctity of the institution of Congress. But there is always a time to let go of your... At alam yan, puro alam ng pulis yan. Yan lahat na nakaupo dyan, yan, dumaan ng Davao yan, alam nila ang sentimento.
Thank you, Mr. President. Sabi niyo na po.
Can we excuse the President kung magpapahinga siya?
we suspend for a few minutes.
Okay. The Senate subcommittee, the Senate Blue Ribbon subcommittee has suspended hearings again. I'm sure they will be right back. So we are now 7 hours and counting. The hearing started at 10 a.m. this morning. President Duterte is still on the mic. Just to recap, Bok, some of the highlights coming from the president's testimony. He confirmed the existence of a Davao death squad, but made it clear or claims that policemen were not involved, but rather gangs.
No, actually, but he said something else with that. That he has a private death squad, and these are rich people who do not want drugs to ruin his city. That's why hindi raw kailangan ng reward system.
Right. But what he's saying is basically that members of the police are not part of this Davao death squad. He has also, of course, taken full responsibility for the drug war, and that he has encouraged policemen in their pursuit of their responsibility of our police or anti-drug operations to encourage
He ordered the police
suspects
to encourage
to fight back.
At ang sabi niya, ang sabi ko ganito, prangkahan tayo, encourage the criminals to fight, encourage them to draw their guns.
And the implication is that so that there's a justification to shoot back, to fire back. Okay, Bok. Anything else, Bok?
Tapos several times sinabi niya na ang mga involved dyan sa drugs, puro mga mayor, puro mga pulis, puro mga sundalo. Pati nga raw dyan sa batasan. Although wala siya sa batasan. Pati raw dito sa batasan, ang dami raw involved sa drugs. I don't know if he's referring to congressmen or the district.
One thing that's made a comeback in this 7-hour and counting or running hearing is that bumalik yung PI.
Ay, oo.
I don't know if somebody has kept count, but over the last 10 minutes, I count 3 at least, 3 times.
Go 3 lang?
Over the last 10 minutes.
Parang parang sona yan. Bibilang mo yung mga palakpak.
Dito. Over the last 10 minutes po, mga 3
Tapos
bilang po.
mga bitaw ni dating Pangulong Duterte, do not question my policies because I offer no apologies, no excuses. I did what I had to do. Whether you believe it or not, I did it for the country. The war on illegal drugs is not about killing people. It's about protecting the innocent and the defenseless. Ito pa. I have always viewed people addicted to illegal drugs as victims and patients requiring medical help siguro to, and not as criminals.
Okay, those are your quotes that you picked out. Ako, ang quote na pick up ko, Bok, ito walang hiya talaga ako. And he was referring to dealing with drug suspects. When it comes to drugs, inulit niya, I hate drugs. Kanya, in dealing with the drug problem, to quote the former president, walang hiya talaga ako.
There was an interesting exchange kanina, mga alas 4 ng hapon when Senator Ontiveros was grilling the former president about yung statement ng dating Pangulo na meron siyang private sector, called private sector death squad, kasi sabi niya, hindi raw...
Pero hindi businessman to, Hindi to...
Ito nga.
Okay.
Doon lumabas sa grilling na yun ni Ontiveros si Ontiveros was asking, so are these being paid a reward system of sorts? No, they're not. The rich, what do you mean the rich? They're paying people, the rich people are paying people to do the killing. No, these are rich people who do not want to see their city get destroyed, and they like killing as well. So may ganung siya. Well, take it or leave it. Hindi na sinabi niya.
So this is his apparent explanation for the reward system. In a way.
In a way, I suppose. He's in fact saying na walang reward system. It's his way of saying that there's no reward system because it's not necessary.
Yeah, there's no reward system. What
That's his
there
assertion,
is, what there was that compensation for by private sector people for
So it was an interesting exchange kasi Senator Ontiveros was beginning to grill him into more depth to get him to talk more about this alleged private sector death squad. Pero naubusan ng oras si Senator Ontiveros, and unfortunately nobody else picked up on the matter. They shifted to another gear already altogether. So, yun. But that was the first opening, I suppose, where officially the former president said that he has a death squad.
Okay, and this hearing
Under
is,
oath. That's under oath.
and this hearing is becoming more or less a platform for the former
Oh, yeah,
president to make all that familiar exhortations on the drug war. Parang yun yung nangyari dito sa hearing po na ito. But their hearing has resumed again. They're back from recess. We can go back to them and listen to what's happening now.
Go ahead.
Allow me to read, Your Honors, my affidavit. I, Police Colonel Hector U. Grijaldo, 3rd Level Officer, presently assigned a personal holding administrative unit, Camp Crame, Quezon City, after duly sworn to, under oath and in accordance with law, do hereby depose and states that I have been dedicated to public service for almost 30 years. And since I took my oath as cadet on June 1, 1995, on October 16, 2024, I was again invited as a resource person in the 9th Joint Public Hearing of Committees on Dangerous Drug, Public Order, Safety and Human Rights, and Public Accounts of the House of Representatives scheduled on October 22, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. I, together with other invited PNP personnel, attended the joint hearing in the House of Representatives. After I answered questions related to extrajudicial killings and the reward system, I was approached by a security personnel while I was seated in one of the witnesses during the hearing. The said person told me that I was summoned by Congressman Dan Fernandez. I went out of the room with the security personnel. When we were outside, he told me to go to the left corridor and proceed straight to the end room. While walking, I saw other witnesses who were standing in the corridor, including my classmate, Major Portalesa and Captain Anova, who was wearing a PNP uniform, and the latter acknowledged me by saluting. When I entered the room, I saw 2 lawyers of Police Colonel Garma standing inside the room. One of the lawyers approached me and then asked me what we are going to talk about. I said, I do not know. After a while, Kong Dan Fernandez entered the room and he asked me to sit beside him on his right side. And then Kong Abante entered the room, sat far end of the chair on the right. One of the lawyers of Police Karma stood near at my back. Kong Dan Fernandez put the paper he was holding on the table and told me, ito ang sasabihin mong statement na ito. While pointing on the paragraph on the paper, ito ang supplemental affidavit ni Colonel Garma. Sabihin mo, alam mo ang reward system. I-confirm mo lang. Kong Dan told me to read the said affidavit. However, I asked the copy of affidavit he was showing to me to read it. He did not give it to me. The lawyer of Police Colonel Garma said, ikaw lang ang pwedeng magsabi niyan, sabi ni Colonel Garma. I was puzzled and I asked myself, why me? I respectfully told him that I cannot confirm. They are saying as I have not read the affidavit. We went silent for a while. And then Kong Dan Fernandez said, while holding the affidavit, saan ka pwede? Dito, noong 1999, about DDS, alam mo to, pulis ka na sa Davao nito. I politely told him that I was not still with the PNP because I was working with the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology in 1999 that time. After some time, Kong Abante asked me how many years do still I have with the PNP. I answered, I still have 4 years before my retirement. Then he made a remark, pwede ka pang maging general. I humbly responded to him, masaya na ako sa ranggo ko, sir. Pagkatapos nito, sir, uuwi na lang ako. At magtatanim na lang ako ng kamote sa amin. The cordial conversation between us continued. And I felt that they wanted me to convince me to do what they wanted me to do. Then Kong Abante asked me where I serve as a chief of police. To which I answered, Mandaluyong City Police Station, sir. Kong Abante then persuaded me by saying, ikaw naman, Colonel, ganito na lang. Alangan namang walang insidente o pangyayari sa panahon na yon. I answered, and I served as a COP in Mandaluyong during the COVID-19 pandemic, and there were less crime committed. And we did not receive any reward from anyone. I added that we only received funds, additional MOA or support fund from the Peace and Order Fund of the LGU. I then respectfully told Kong Dan Fernandez that anybody can debunk my statement if I confirm the testimony of Colonel Garma about the DDS in 1999, since I was not a member of PNP at the time. And I have no personal knowledge as to the reward system. Additionally, I said, the work of the policeman are noble and requires great sacrifice, even without the reward or award. It is our moral obligation and a call of duty to serve our country and people. Then Kong Dan asked me, si Colonel Garma, anong masabi mo sa kanya sa Barayuga? I politely told him I cannot comment on the case. When I respectfully answered him, Sir, mahirap yan. Kasama kami sa nag-iimbestiga at hindi ko alam kung ano. Kong Dan Fernandez and Kong Abante left the room, while I and the two lawyers of Police Colonel Garma stayed in the room for a while. I presume that they are about to present the second affidavit of Police Colonel Garma. I asked the two lawyers of Police Colonel Garma why they have chosen me. They did not answer me and just stared at me. And that I went back to the hearing room. When I went back to the hearing room, I immediately